All right. Hi, glad to be here again. So my name is Julius. I work for Nextcloud as a software engineer, mostly on the integration parts with Collabora Office, Collabora Online. And yeah, I want to give a very quick wrap up because yes, most people know Nextcloud already. For those who don't, like we're enterprise content collaboration platform, fully free and open source. Yeah, we have different components in there. Nextcloud Files, classical file sync and share, groupware, Talk for video conferencing, chat messaging, and of course Nextcloud Office, which is built together with Collabora and based on Collabora Online. This is how it looks like. As you can see, like it's mostly the familiar Collabora Online user interface with a few adjustments where we like adapted the user interface to match the Nextcloud styling a bit more. With different icons and like having a few decisions on what kind of components we show by default or hide. But in general, it's as powerful as Collabora Online is. So yeah, I want to talk a bit on like what we did in the past year together with the Collabora team there. There have been a few performance improvements. I mean, there have been tons of things on the Collabora side. But also on the Nextcloud integration, because like before the user sees the Collabora interface, there's actually some stuff happening. And we noticed there are a couple of things that could be further improved there. First one was that we added support for range requests. This is something that goes together with the work Ash is doing on improving the general loading performance. But Collabora can actually now request or do multiple requests in parallel and therefore like speed up the download of very large files in like just parallelizing that. The next thing that we did was that we improved the general loading time of a document within Nextcloud. Like those numbers are very rough just from a quick profile, but it basically went down from 4 seconds to 300 milliseconds that we need to do before Collabora can start loading. So just like some browser profiles over there. The reason why it was that slow was, yeah, you would call it historical reasons. Probably no one is around anymore who could tell why that was done. But we had like 2 nested iframes where only the second one was loading Collabora in the end. So there was tons of, as you can see in the profile, like tons of Nextcloud JavaScript CSS files that was needed to be loaded and processed, and we could basically get rid of that and just replace it with a simple API call and then just load the Collabora iframe directly. Like from more user-facing features, like we worked on version comparison. We have this version tracking feature within Nextcloud where for every save that you do, we store a version. You can use Collabora to view those versions, but you can also compare them. So in that case, there seems to be a screenshot missing, but you would see like a side-by-side comparison of the version of the document with the current version. So you can like easily check what has changed. And as like there are tons of Nextcloud instances out there, and I mean you can just install Nextcloud on your home server, your Raspberry Pi, or as a company on premise. We noticed there's quite some trouble people run into when setting up and configuring Nextcloud and Collabora together. Especially if they are not like admins as their main job, basically. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong with reverse proxy configurations and networking firewalls in between. So we try to improve like the hints that we can give to admins that configure it. As you can see, like we added some nice messages that give hints on whether there's like a configuration missing. Or like a protocol mismatch, for example. And the idea is to also enhance that further over time whenever we see that issues occur, that we extend and make it as easy as possible to set it up. Just for completeness, there's also like a setup check that you can do on the command line. So whenever you want to automate your Nextcloud Collabora setup, you can also just do that by scripting it. Yeah, and just like picked up a few other improvements. They're not that much collaborated, but it also comes into the like improving the loading experience. That we rewrote our Files app in a more modern JavaScript, which gives huge performance improvements when navigating through files and then using your Office files in there. Yeah, we had together with Collabora, especially with Pedro, lots of. Okay. I guess I still see it here, but. Yeah, it looks like a boost screen.
Yeah, it looks like a boost.